Hey, how's it going? I wanted to talk to you about sunrise and sunsets and debunking one sun models with sunrise observations, sunset observations, and distances, and noon and local suns and the equinox. So let me get into that. When the sun rises and sets, it's roughly 6-7 time zones from you. First, let me say the north and south. During the north winter, the sun is low on the horizon, lower on at an angle like this, and when it's summer, it's like this. Now I can zoom in with my P900, same distance, and get the same size image where it's all the way zoomed in. So now on the equinoxes, those people have equal sun and equal night and day, and equal equinox. So they see it at the exact same angle. Now they're at greater distances than which I supposedly see a sunrise and sunset. If we were supposedly to see a sunrise 4,000 miles to your east, which I know I can't see 4,000 miles. I know I can only see maybe 500 from high elevation, I guess, with the sunrise. But generally, if I'm ground level at sea level, you're going to see the sunrise like 30 miles from you. And then the higher you go from there, you'll probably see it when it's further and further and further. But generally, I do not think from southern Mississippi I can see Alabama, Atlanta, the Atlantic Ocean, or Europe. And it's rising from that location 4,000 miles away, supposedly. So let me get into where I live, just to show y'all. Southern Mississippi, everybody knows where it is, and part of our little system. And this is 6 time zones away, is this border right here. And Guinea's 5,000 miles and appears around 4,000 miles from Mississippi. Now all these people will experience a noon and local sun at the same angle in the northern hemisphere, and for everybody else it's going to be up high. For them it's going to be low. This is why globe science has fooled people, because it kind of makes a little bit of sense to an extent, but your shadows are going to be the same size. And when you look up at the sun and you say, well, that looks like a small ring and looks local and close to me, and then sometimes you'll see suns pass in and out of perspective faster than the sun. When the sun rises to you, it's at 9 o'clock to like 8:30 to 4:30. It's in your area for 8-9 hours, and during your solstices it's even longer than that, like much longer than that. And it's just sitting in your area. Planes going to and from. You can see land below and beyond it, even though you know that you can't see that far. It's your own spotlight, like an Acme tune running around and on stage, and this light's following him. Same thing with all the luminaries; they're all following you. So, I know that sounds crazy, but hang on with me with that thought for a while. You don't have to believe it, but start doing your own observations. So that's roughly 4,000 miles from Mississippi to here, and it's dark outside for me when it's 4,000 miles away. Completely dark. Dark. Okay, let me get into the first observation. Go to my stats, and let's see. First we will do Alaska to the Gambier Islands. That's 5,800 miles. Now some of these maths might be wrong. I'm not a mathematician. These are rough estimates. I looked them up online. Most of those websites use a square map. So might not fit your Gleason math, because that shit's wrong too. Anyway, but pilots and everybody's been charting this Earth, so 5,800 miles. See how far that is? And they both have this person seeing the sun low on the horizon, and then this person seeing it high on the horizon. But I know the in-between distance of there, 3,000 miles, I can't zoom that high. I can't see that far. So, and when it's 3,000 miles away from me, so that's 5,800 miles. So in between 3,000 miles, when it's 3,000 miles from me, like 5 time zones away, it's still early. It's like 7 in the morning, 7:30, supposedly on one sun models. And keep going. You have Lima, New York. This is a good one because it's so close to me, and it was one of the first ones I started looking at. So Lima and New York are real close, but they're 3,500 miles apart. And during the equinoxes, they'll both have the same sun, like same size shadow, and 3,500 miles. 3,500 miles. I mean, and you can't see over curves. You can't see over curves. You got to think about that too. But they expect you to see over curves this way, but not this way. I don't understand their logic in not thinking about that either. They really didn't do a good job at lying to us when you start really dissecting this ball. Nova Scotia to Chile, Santiago, Chile, 5,400 miles, and 5,400 miles, and same thing. And you have Greenland to Buenos Aires. And this is huge too. Like when it's like has an equidistant feel to it, like you know how it gets further from the center. But the further you get from this center, it feels like some of these they get pushed further. So see how when you get closer to the center, these boxes get bigger. So it's almost like reverse equidistant. My opinion is you just rip this thing off of it and you unfold the globe and you have your realm. That's my opinion. Because the Gleason is a flattened 2D projection, which makes it half of a map, half of a model, and completely wrong. So then the next one you have Sweden to the Congo, and that one's actually not that far on what it looks like on the map. Like they look pretty close, and that one's like 66,000 miles or something like that. And then you have Finland to Johannesburg, 6,000 miles. And then you have St. Petersburg, Russia to Madagascar, 5,500 miles. Then you have, I always butcher this word, Irkutsk, north of Mongolia. And it goes down here in Australia, West Australia. That's 5,800 miles. And then you have I'll just skip to the last one. The 6,000 miles between this peninsula and New Zealand. 6,000 miles. So 6,000 miles is 2 United States wide, like pretty much almost. So like, and these people are experiencing during the equinoxes, they'll both experience the same angle sun. And when these people like say if you get a buddy, find you a buddy in the same time zone as you in the northern or southern half, and y'all start taking pictures together, take pictures of the sky together, you're going to see something completely different. You're going to see something completely different hundreds of miles away from somebody else, let alone in the southern hemisphere. And like the people in the southern hemisphere, like if you're looking at the moon, they see a reverse moon from what we see. So if you were to see something, it would be in reverse, I believe, like a mirror on the wall. But that's how the prism in the sky acts, you know, like off the dollar bill. But that's what I was pretty much just breaking down for you guys. I'm trying to see if I have any other thoughts. But yeah, the lights are all local, close to your perspective, and you see them at different angles, different times of year. Like the Big Dipper, you know, it just changes the way it's setting. It's a setting. It's a setting. they're on a pattern. The not a clock. It's not a finite time. I've already explained to you that this is 18 hours apart, but that's not 18 hours of distance of a globe. I have more observations and stuff that I'm going to keep coming up with, just having trouble finding different ways of saying them. I have fun doing this. It's fun research. It really challenges my mind. And thank you everybody for watching. Love, peace, and hugs.